So I was trying to find a good way to start this, as my mind's down the road on some future stuff. And if wondering, it's hard for what I do, for me, to do it from the hip. Like, a lot of you guys are just great at it. And because I write, it's easier for me to get the words from my head to my hand than it is to get it from my head to my mouth. Which is why I took this course. So, with that being said, this is something that I submitted to Better Humans. And the background on it is, or the resource, I should say, because it was one of the questions I had to answer, was exactly that, my resource. My resource is this. My first Baker Act was in 1995 for, you don't really see it good, it's been that long. Anyways, 3 tendons, 2 nerves, and an artery I went through on my left hand. It's 2.5 hours of microscopic surgery. I had no function from here over and couldn't get through the other one. Needless to say, that started my venture of the psych industry, which is what this is about. So my resource is 24 years of experience. Wow, that took a while. Anyway, all right, so it's entitled Bullets for Breakfast, How I Got Off Psych Meds, and bullets can be literal or a phrase I just coined for taking meds when waking up. Disclaimer, if the shoe store doesn't have a fit, then please keep walking, as the beauty of Medium, which I publish stuff at, is you will find what you're looking for. I've spent 24 years since my first Baker Act in 95, seeing shrinks of various degrees and specialty. Inner child work, core issue work, point of origin, traumatic experience stuff, regression therapy, hypnotherapy. Even had a full exorcism performed on me at a Spanish Catholic church in a strip mall once. So I'd venture or be bold enough to say that I'm just short of a degree by default and specialize in specialists. There isn't a med for mood, anxiety, depression, bipolar, or antipsychotic I've not been on at some point or other through it all. I don't truly believe that it has ever been solely the meds that work. I believe a combination of being worn down by trial and error, everyone around me, including my latest rent-a-friend, marketing and advertising, double and triple blind study results, wishful thinking and hope, as well as the lack of fight and the reason the sky is blue that contribute more to my diagnosis than from any book, studying, article reading, emotions and feelings Nazi, of which are way more convincing / threatening with their constant "you're the crazy person" than the drugs could ever have hoped to do. We're talking about the mind here, the final frontier, the days of the world have been trying to dismantle since the beginning of time. With a million self-help gurus, coaches, swamis, and experts, all touting their latest power of positive anythings, it has me hearing Buffalo Springfield's "nobody's right if everybody's wrong." As I'm writing this, and the psych community has no qualms with plainly stating before any new med regimen, listen, this isn't an exact science, as all body types are different, and well, we just have to find out what works best in 30-day intervals of med management. The other crystals and finger symbol side, mantra, affirmation, or speeding through a new hack of some nature, which for me is great during the course, but until they come up with the pill for motivation and the kumbaya for embracing the discomfort of change, I think the thoughts of bullets for breakfast is quite okay as long as I don't invest in the gun. I'm closer to my latest breakthrough than most, simply in the fact that I actually share my thoughts openly with the world at the tune of an easy 1,000 words in 50 minutes. That may benefit someone else in the knowledge that they/you are not alone. And renting someone crazier and renting someone crazier than me, except with a better vision board and patience, and at 150 to 300 an hour, of which the cost of my newest friend and my meds each month only exacerbating an already shaky psyche, I think I need to redo my vision board and be more realistic in that we all will experience ups and downs. But hey, if I'm driving back down from the mountain, my up, in the new Land Rover I bought with the incredible feeling of all the money I saved for my latest attempt, the latest quick fix and exercise, the key ingredient of this too shall pass, aka patience, and put out quibble, maybe not the best choice of word, but it sounds perfect, and apparently I've been dying to use it, as it sprung forth from my mind like some kind of word jack-in-the-box, or self-deprecating, yeah, much better. Rants like this, I too will be happy, joyous, and free before I know it. Damn, feeling pretty good now, so maybe I'll go work on a master class to end all master classes entitled You Gotta Be Shitting Me, with my newest dive into self-discovery, where we pull out a pen and paper, write exactly what's on our minds with wild abandon in a no-holds-bar, fuck you, I'm the one dying inside type of frenzy, then post for anyone to read in hopes it may keep someone else from investing in their own early funeral or maybe lunch. See Bullets for Breakfast reference if lost. And what do you do? What do you know? Now Bob's your uncle. If you can take anything from this in all seriousness, learn to laugh at yourself, and I know it sounds crazy, but I come from 35 years of hating me and beating myself up. Once I realized I'm a very slow learner, that I'm not that important, nor does anyone else care what I'm thinking, as they are too busy fighting their own demons. Two, demons being hiding their own truths, faults, and varying degrees of madness, or saying fuck it and writing, then sharing it with others. Not only did I start having friends, but have become a bit of a psych industry James Dean, but with a cause. All that is important here is seeing self differently, and the sad truth is, in a world where so few of us are ourselves, which was absolutely the cause of all my issues in the first place, trying to be who I thought you would like, aka people pleaser, codependent, no self-worth, picking myself apart, self-sabotage, or any of the other negative self-words, fears of various makes and models, just add your own stuff to the list, because of buying into all the lies pumped down my throat 24/7. See, once I started learning to laugh at myself and became a free thinker again by cutting off the TV and writing for an outlet to get my once hijacked mind back, nothing would have ever changed. I also had a void or a hole in me that after probably closer to 40 years of vain attempts and 35 years of non-prescribed drug use, though still drug use, and because of it being spiritual in nature, again, if it weren't for Jesus, there would be no me, and this is coming from someone who once hated that thought. Just so happens that that same one I hated is the same one who saved and gave me a life, that one being Jesus, and that's my one and only truth. The best part about learning to laugh at or with myself is I'm by far the funniest person I know. In my mind, I have a sitcom, and I sell out Madison Square faster than the Stones and Jerry combined, and I never run out of material. By far the best part is I don't need the meds anymore, and 85% of my days are actually good. I guess what I want to say is that it is now possible to look in the mirror more often. Often than not, I hand the devil his ass more often than he does me. Plus, I no longer have bullets for breakfast every morning. Okay, so let's recap. How I learned to laugh at with self. Brutal honesty, plus pen and paper, plus sharing it with anyone or everyone. Whatever. In fact, start a blog. If some things are extremely dark, I way more suggest support groups to therapists, a quick apology to therapists around the world. But in my defense, many of you made the team in some of these dark thoughts, especially drugs or alcohol support groups. Just read most of any of Chuck Palahniuk's stuff, the guy that did Fight Club, or wrote Fight Club, I should say. As there is not a crazier bunch or more crazier thoughts than that of an addict. Trust me on this, as I'm one of those. Also, if you're not a substance person, do not be deceived nor deceive yourself in so doing. I ask that you rethink this. If you are thinking having bullets with or for breakfast every morning, then yes, I'm relying on something outside of myself to help me deal with the task of being me, and in that alone, I am dependent on whatever it is I'm doing for my content. Hence, I am powerless. Also note that in making the decision alone to do something different, I am now taking my power back and exercising my right to choose and putting that into action by expressing my thoughts to paper. Pretty cool, huh? But this is just me, and again, the thoughts of an addict are crazy for the most part and not to be written in stone. What I know is once I finally overcame the fear of judgment and finally shared, which took years, did the healing begin, and did the where I'm at right now happen. Do this each morning for like 20 or 30 minutes. Don't think, just write. Who cares? Who cares what it is or how it sounds? Then read it loud or to someone else instead of worrying about what they're thinking. Notice how the thoughts will start to lose their strength and power in the power they once had. If it stays bottled up, eventually I will explode. There was a saying in prison, a pipe under enough pressure over time will burst. Also remember, you're doing this to get it out, not to freak people out. Because of me worrying about others' thoughts of me is how I got into this in the first place. I will never be happy trying to make someone else happy, like or love me. I will only start hating myself as a result. My happiness is not connected to someone else's idea of who or what I should be. There. Now I'm even throwing in two positive. Now I've even thrown in two positive mirror work asks on the house. Do those two alone for 2 weeks, and you will see results. Now throw in all the rest, and you'll be happier than a tornado in a trailer park. In a short period of time. Have an interesting day, and may peace be with you. I didn't make mention of the years spent and the struggle spent of trying to stop the voices in my head, which I now know are just fiery darts and come from the enemy. The years I wound up in that closet right there, in a fetal position, butt naked, on that floor, bawling, crying, punching myself in the head, trying to stop those same voices. But as the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out, and nothing changes if nothing changes. And how the word works is the renewing of the mind. So once I was able to stop the devils. I'm not even going to play with you. And what I was hearing, which is nothing more than what Eve heard in the garden, the whisper, how he attacks, and started reading the word. And I'm not pushing anything on you. I'm telling you what worked for me. As I have been through, I did everything I could to get around God. I hated him. I literally used to hide my crack in the Bible in hotel rooms and in jail. When we didn't have rolling paper for weed, we would use the Bible to roll weed with in jail. That is why I said the same one I hated, the same God, being Jesus, I hated, is the same one that saved my life. And how I know that there is no such thing as doing something too bad or too wrong, as the devil would have others, as the devil had me believing. That's an over 50-page record that, if you can see the highlights, that'll give you an idea of how many. 4 prison trips, I don't know how many county jail things. Anyways, it's not for the war stories. I'm here to tell you what worked for me, and in a vain attempt to get around the Bible, when I go to jail, would become Jewish because they get fed better. And in being in jail, I would a lot of times have roommates that were Muslim, so I picked up on some of the Quran. I'd go to the Jewish services, pick up some stuff there. I got into Buddhism, as you can see, which is just a variation of Hinduism, of which I've read the Tibetan Book of the Dead and the Bhagavad Gita. Did a lot of acid, as you can see there. Jerry Garcia. Lucid dreaming, astral projection, soothsayers, tarot cards, all that kind of crap. One thing I know is if I take the 5 major belief systems, there is a common theme through them all. There is a good and there is an evil. So in knowing that much, and it's once I was able to put a face on my enemy, and my enemy is the devil, and it's just the letter D in front of the word evil. Some real simple stuff going on out here that I'm a slow learner, I said. And all good is just an extra O in the word God. And I keep things that basic, and I read for myself. Yes, I attend service, but that's just to fill my spirit. But I read the word for myself, and as for knowledge and understanding, what I discovered, back to what I was going to say, is that what I discovered through all of, okay, so with that, you got evil, you got good. Through all of those 5 belief systems, there's only one belief system, or one belief. Screw the system. There's only one belief that has had anybody defeat that evil, the devil. And I used that. And I watched it work. I see in spirit, I pray in spirit, the things for 4 years. Anyways, that's a story for another time. I'm going to leave you with this. And what I will say is if you feel this, and the cool thing about where this is being posted in some places is that there's already a belief. I'll also say that, well, you know what? I've got that. That's a whole nother writing. But if this moves you, it's not you, it's moving, because if you're feeling it inside, that's your spirit that it's moving. And so I hope you enjoy. I may need to cover this with my but if you feel this, you'll know it. X Factor. Please give it a chance. I have been down for so long, and I hope it's gone. But as I lift my hands, I understand that I shall praise you through my circumstance. To the devil of my feet, so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Roll those hands so I can lift my hands, yeah. And I'm gonna praise you. And I'm gonna praise you. Here we go. Through the fire and the rain, find me and never let go. Never stop the change. Standing on my way. Tonight, the coolest part of this is that we're all created in one image, and we all have that same potential in us. But it is up to us to tap into it. So that it can come out. Have an interesting day. Thank you for letting me share. And more than anything, may peace be with you.